Guys, it's Sentetsu, and today I'm back with episode 2 of my Smash Ultimate Guide. Today we will be talking about the advantage state. So to start off, what is the advantage state? Well, the advantage state is pretty simple. When you start a combo and you have all of the high ground and the other person has less of the high ground, that is exactly what the advantage is. So essentially, when you get a hit, that's when the advantage starts, and the advantage continues when the other person has a hard time getting a hit back or needs to get back into the neutral state where both players have no advantage. That is exactly what the advantage is. Secondly, how can you play the advantage and how do specific characters play in the advantage? Well, some characters are very combo heavy. They like to be up close and they like to pressure people. Characters like that include Mario and Captain Falcon, which are very up close grapplers. Characters like Donkey Kong, and characters like Sheep. They like to stay in very close and they like to use their aerials and their tilts and their grounded moves in order to hit you and keep you in the disadvantaged state. Now, there's also characters who like to stay away from you while they are in advantage. These characters include Simon. These characters can include characters like Samus, characters like Duck Hunt. They like to camp you out. They don't want you anywhere near them because they use their projectiles to keep you away from them and to control the stage. Characters like Link can play both mid and long range, so they can actually approach you, but they can also pressure you far away with arrows and bombs and boomerangs and other projectiles like that. So you have to know what your character can do in the advantage before you know what combos they can do, what strings they can do, and if you don't know, combos are true usually, and then there's strings. Those are the two categories of combos, essentially. So true combos are inescapable, so no matter what the opponent does, they cannot get out. A string is a combo which you kind of make up as you go along, and the opponent with proper directional influence, or DI, and other techniques like reverse side being and using a move to cancel out your attack can escape the combo, and that's what a string is. So you have to know which of your techniques are combos and which of them are strings. I'm going to discuss something a little more complex, so bear with me. Whenever you're playing a game and there's two players involved, always remember that you're not trying to necessarily always be aggressive or always be defensive. Sometimes you're trying to get the other player to show their hand. You're trying to find out what they know and what they will be likely to do, and then once you know that, you can punish them or combo them even harder. I'll give you an example, right? You're using Mario, and you down throw them, right? And then you up air, and you up air, and you up B, right? Let's say that in that situation, that's true combo, and you get like a lot of percent out of it. Now, you could also think, okay, so I up air, and then I up air again, but what if they air dodge away from it? What could I do to punish that, or to hard punish that, and maybe get a kill out of it? Well, if they air dodge away, you can buffer a forward air after the second up air, and then you can spike them. And that's something called conditioning or a read. So basically, you've conditioned them to be prepared for the up B. Let's say you've been doing the up air to the up air to the up B like all the time, and you're ending the combo in mid-percents. And they're like, okay, he's gonna up B me. I'm gonna DI away and air dodge, and that up B is not gonna hit. Well, then you decide to mix it up and you go for the forward air. So you've conditioned them to essentially expect the up B and air dodge away. So you forward air them and that spikes them. And that's what conditioning is. Conditioning is doing something again and again to an opponent to make them feel safe or to make them feel that they should do something else. And then, after that, taking advantage of their state and punishing it. That's what conditioning is. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is pressure. Pressure is basically when you're in, like, if, like, imagine you're in a job interview and people are asking you a lot of questions, you feel under pressure. It's somewhat similar to that in Super Smash Brothers, but not exactly. Let's say there's a Captain Falcon and he's in the middle of the stage, right? And he's just back airing your shield, back air, back air, back air. You're like, oh god damn it, this Falcon is making me feel really nervous, really uncomfortable. What am I gonna do? I am going to roll to the side. And then what does a Falcon do? He's like, okay, I'm back airing, I'm waiting for him to react. Oh, he rolled, and then he grabs you, and then he hits you with a down throw and then a neutral air, right? And then now you're off stage, you're under more pressure, and you're like, okay, I'm going to air dodge. Falcon's like, okay, I read the air dodge. Bam, gets a down air. Then you're dead. So that's what pressure is. Pressure is using your moves and using your movement in order to make the person feel uncomfortable and then bait out a specific move. That's exactly what pressure is. Pressure and conditioning are related, but conditioning is more long term, while pressure is like much more short term. And they're both very much a part of how you play the neutral as well as how you play the advantage game as well, right? And different characters can pressure people in different ways and condition people in different ways. Some people do it with projectiles, some do it with movement, like Pit and Falcon. Some characters can do it with their moves, for example, like characters like Corrin with her back air, characters like Mario with his back air. So that's what pressure is, for example, and what conditioning is. There's two more things I need to discuss. I'm going to discuss overshooting and mix-ups. Now, if you're in the advantage state and you do the same combo every single time, let's say you're Samus and you down throw them and you forward air, then they might decide, okay, I'm going to do something about that. So, for example, Samus's down throw to forward air can be DI'd away or down, and you can air dodge out of it just to get out of it at low to mid percents. So, because of that, you're going to need to mix it up. So some Samuses, for example, do down throw and then they wait and then they forward tilt. Some of them do down throw into neutral air, or down throw and then they short hop the up air. So they know how the opponent reacts to their combo and then they mix it up. And that's what a mix up is. A mix up is choosing a different move or creating a different situation which the opponent is not used to in order to continue a combo and to maintain the advantage. And then also remember that sometimes in the advantage state, even if you know the opponent is going to escape something, sometimes they won't expect you to pursue them afterwards. So, for example, let's say you back throw somebody as Mario, right? And let's say this guy is just really keen to get back into the center stage, and he jumps back. So he jumps forward into the stage, and then you're like, okay, so this guy is just jumping forward, and I'm Mario, so I'm going to back throw him, and then I'm going to forward here. Trust me, it might seem stupid, but it has worked on many people in the past, myself included. I have jumped into a Mario forwarder after being back thrown. So that's something called overshooting. So that's basically like you're taking a move and you know it's not going to hit, or it shouldn't hit, but since you have a general idea of where the person will be and you call out their moves, you overshoot that move so somehow it manages to hit them. So that's what overshooting is, for example. Lastly, I'm going to talk about spacing on shield and then characters with good advantage state. Now, shield is one of the fastest, if not the fastest defensive option in the game. It comes out frame 1, has a lot of, a decent amount of HP, and you can use it in order to just outright counter certain moves, especially with the new parry mechanic, which gives you 3 frames of advantage after a move hits your shield and you let go of the shield button at the exact moment. So, basically, if you have really good tilts, so let's say you have a Roy or a Chrom, right, and you're fighting them, and what they do is they down tilt your shield, and then they forward tilt, and then maybe they neutral air. What they're trying to do is, if they're in the advantage and you're at the ledge, they're trying to pressure you, and they're trying to put pressure on your shield so that they can have a better advantage state, and that's why they know what moves are safe on shield and what moves are not. So let's say, for example, the Chrom's forward air is safe on shield. So he knows that, so he's gonna do forwarder. He's gonna keep on forwarding your shield, and then when you put a move out, he's gonna be like, okay, this time I'm not gonna forwarder. I'm gonna just sit there and jab you, or I'm gonna sit there and F tilt, right? And then that means that you are in an even worse state of disadvantage. So that's what it means to pressure somebody's shield and to control what they are doing out of shield. So that's why you have to know which moves you have that you can use to pressure someone's shield. It's very important to play around shield in this game and not just think about it as another option. It's a very, very important thing, both for the aggressor and the person who is defending. Lastly, I'm going to talk about some characters with very good advantage states. Chrom has a very good advantage state with a really fast forward air and up air. His up air can combo out a short hop into multiple up air, especially on stages like Battlefield and stages like Pokemon Stadium with platforms. Characters like Pichu have a very good advantage state because they get a lot out of their neutral air, out of their forward air, out of their aerial combo as well. Like Chrom, but unlike Chrom, it's because they can stay very close to the opponent and just pressure them up close, and the opponent has a hard time getting out because of how fast the hitboxes of the character are. Other characters have a really good advantage state include Simon and Richard Belmont. If they have you off stage, then they can kind of do what they want. They can throw their holy water, they can throw the axe and angle it, they can throw the cross, they can forward air you off stage. They can try to down air and spike you if they're actually really crazy. So there's a lot of different characters who have good advantage states, and a good advantage state usually makes a character very, very good. Just look at Bayonetta from Smash 4. She had an amazing advantage state. You could essentially follow your DI and your SDI. Use up B, use side B, use forward airs to take you off the side of the stage. Use up airs and up Bs to take you off the top of the stage, especially with Rage. So characters like that are characters you need to watch out for. You need to plan to fight against, and you also might want to be interested in fighting with those characters. So characters with good advantage states, once again, are very good characters. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll enjoy me next time when I show my video on disadvantage. Thank you very much for joining me today, and have a nice day, you guys. Bye.